1 year ago, the Basketball Alumni Legends League debuted its groundbreaking new summertime concept, professional basketball with a collegiate twist, in a pair of games featuring NBA prospects and recent college stars playing an entertaining up-tempo brand of basketball. A year later, the concept has expanded to 5 teams playing 4 games over the next 10 days in the nation's capital. Tonight, we're at the stunning Smith Center on the George Washington University campus for Game 1 as the DC Dobermans defend home court against the crosstown Maryland Ball Stars. It's DC versus Maryland as the Ball Pro Basketball Series, powered by Under Armour, starts now.
The Ball Pro Basketball Series, powered by Under Armour. I will on a Saturday night in the nation's capital. It's the opening night for the Ball Pro Series inside GW Smith Center. Hi everyone, it's the DC Dobermans taking on the Maryland Ball Stars with Stephen Bardo, former NBAer and the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. I'm Frank Hanrahan courtside. Buckle up, because get ready, the ball is ready to explode. And there's a lot of reasons to that. First and foremost, there are a lot of different innovations to the Ball Basketball Series this year.
Yeah, and I really like it, Frank. I think it encourages the game to be sped up a little bit. Where it's summertime, it's warm, guys are feeling good. So these rules will really increase the scoring, in my opinion.
The one thing that stands out to me, first and foremost, the 4-point shot, Stephen, from 20 feet away.
Yeah, I don't know if all the players have your range, Frank, so we don't want them to get outside of themselves, but I like the 4-point shot. I also like the final 5 minutes, 20-second shot clock and 5-second half-court timer. And so that's really going to speed the game up. A lot of strategy kind of goes out the window at that point.
25 feet away, I should say. All right, Maryland Ball Stars, as you just saw, Gilchrist, Bowie, Mosley, Etherly, and James Giss. So a pretty potent starting 5 there for Maryland.
Yeah, a lot of offensive firepower, especially in the backcourt.
And for the home team, so to speak, DC Dobermans, Tony Taylor out of GW, playing obviously right here on this home court. Austin Freeman, J.R. Pinnock, Vlad Voldemanu, and Henry Sims, the big man in the middle. We touched on Johnny Newman, and Lefty Drizel is one of the co-head coaches for the Maryland Ball Stars. But Johnny, obviously a very long and lucrative NBA career.
16 years, Johnny did it, and talking before the game about how much he enjoyed it, and he relates some of those tales to these guys who are trying to get to that same spot.
It's the old basketball rule, you got to go the opposite of your bench. So they switch things up. As in the home whites, DC Dobermans in the red, Maryland, as the Ball Stars play in D. Pinnock, there's Sims with that jumper. A smooth looking shot that's short, and it goes over the top. So it's Maryland basketball, first possession. Guys getting those kinks out. It's always interesting, the first couple possessions, just to get that lather going.
Yeah, not a lot of quick movements made early on. Like you said, you got to get that sweat going, but a lot of vets out here right now.
There's Giss with that jump shot. That's way off the mark. Here comes Freeman, looking to push. Trying to break down Mosley off the dribble. Pinnock, power dribbled through. Moldavanu for 3, that's short. And Gilchrist with that rebound. Here come the Ball Stars, looking for that first bucket of the evening.
You see a lot of guys operating around that 4-point line, looking for that long jumper.
There's Bowie with the 3. That's right, there is that 4-pointer. Back the other way, Gilchrist got whistled for that reach. But yeah, I'm curious to see all the different wrinkles with the rules. And like I said, we'll talk about it throughout the broadcast as Bowie steps back. That's a smooth-looking left-handed J.
It sure is, and he had Moldavanu on skates right there on the pick-and-roll switch defensively.
Speaking of Moldavanu, little jump pass. Layup, he's good. Nicely done from Taylor. Gets a nice applause from his old school.
Tony Taylor having a good career post-college.
There's Mosley with that jumper. You talked about on the outset his demeanor with Mosley with that coaching change, coming through and really handling his business his senior year.
He really did, and you know, there's a lot expected of him. The second leading scorer in high school Maryland history, and a lot of people expected him to come into Maryland and do the exact same thing, and had to battle injuries throughout his career, but he was a true professional even in college.
Off the jump from Gilchrist. 5-2 ball stars. That Jay from Bowie's off. And Sims with the rebound.
It's going to be a lot like typical summer league where the guards are going to dominate the ball in terms of being able to score and handling.
That's a 4-pointer. Short from Freeman. Bowie pushing the issue. Look out. Etherly with the jam. 7-2 ball stars.
Those types of players like Etherly that will hustle, run the floor, they can get a lot of points in games like these.
There's Bowie pushing the issue. Doesn't have the numbers, but finds the guy we just talked about for the easy two. Yep, he called it.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a consistent theme with those two. They have something going in terms of getting out quickly before the defense sets.
Largest lead of the game. Oh, Freeman with the gentle touch off the window. Cuts that lead to 5.
We talked about it in the open, Frank. I mean, you get next to a guy like Austin Freeman, I know you can smell some Ben Gay. He's got that old man game. Smooth.
James gets smooth 3 from the top of the key. And that is a 3-pointer. Cutting hard as Taylor short arms that layup and gets his own rebound. Founds Moldavenu on the cut, and he lays it in.
Nice job by Moldavenu cutting to the bucket. Big man that can shoot the 3, but trying to do some damage in the paint as well.
3's errant from Gilchrist. And I think Taylor was out of bounds. And not yet. I mean, we've only seen a 4-point play, but let's just touch on a few other differences in the rules to speed the game up, as there are some things like 16 fouls then get you in the bonus.
Yep.
Late in the game, actually when the team is over the bonus, which is interesting. This is old school. When a team gets fouled late in the game, they have the option to either take it out of bounds or take 1 free throw.
And that's very interesting, because if you've got a guy that doesn't shoot free throws very well, you can extend the game, you can keep possession. So it's going to be a lot of interesting strategy and how teams will approach that down the stretch.
Moldavenu on the jump pass, turned it over. If Mosley sees Bowie ahead, he does, and that should be an easy deuce for Bowie. Largest lead of the ball game right now for the Ball Stars, 16-6.
Adrian Bowie came in here ready to play. You mentioned it's going to take a couple minutes for most guys to really get going, but Bowie was ready from the jump ball. He's been pushing the rock. He's been aggressive on the offensive end.
Sims forcing that 3. Here comes Maryland. Bowie thinking 3. Now we'll drop it off to Gilchrist. Trying to make Sims. Yep, and he does. Shakes and bakes for a deuce. Gilchrist looks like he's in great shape.
These guys understand this opportunity, Frank. You know, this is summer league, but this is big time exposure. And
Taylor in and out, absolutely.
And there's also a lot of pride involved. Georgetown, Maryland, you know, there's some storied franchise programs in this region. And these guys know each other for years.
No question, bragging rights up for grabs. Pinnock for a deep one. That was for 4. That's hard off the iron. Here comes Maryland. Bowie forced it a little bit there. He's arguing for a touch on the shot. Look out. Sims can't finish.
So you're going to see times like this when the play just goes up and down.
There's Etherly again. Great find from Gilchrist, 26. He's got 6, does Etherly. Uh-oh. Freeman got it poked away. There's Gitz with the easy jam. All of a sudden, 16-point deficit, just like that.
And Maryland's found that DC doesn't get back defensively. So every time they get the ball, they're trying to push for the open opportunities.
Pinnock on the skip. Taylor, that's a deep 3, and that's what DC needed. Cuts that lead down to 13.
Sweet pick by Vlad Moldanevu. Did I say that right? I want to get that right.
I've already botched it like 3 times, so.
Moldavenu.
Yeah.
There we go. Nice pick by Vlad.
Gilchrist 3 is not on point. But Taylor hesitation. Finding Pinnock on the kick out. 4-pointer. Way short from Freeman. A little different from that distance. Oh, look at the no-look lob. But they can't finish. 1-on-2 the other way. Taylor step through. Nicely done. Holds off the defense and scores off the glass. Leads down to 11.
Taylor at 6'1", but showing you the strength that he has to finish at the rim.
Mosley, pull up three. Thing of beauty for Sean Mosley. He's back up to 14.
Talked about Mosley. Battled numerous injuries during his college career. Looks good now. Blocked by Etherly.
As Maryland's having trouble rather than the backcourt. Stolen by Sims. Pinnock, Sims. The old alley-oop.
Uncommon hustle from the big fella. Sims not only created the turnover, but beat James Gist to the rim for the alley-oop.
25-13, that's just too easy. Oh, he blew it, Etherly. Love to have that one back. DC trying to make him pay. The Dobermans on the push. Moldavenu. Is that another 4-pointer from Freeman? Yep, short. Pinnock off the offensive board from Sims. Good find underneath. Moldavenu with that easy twos. And it leads down to 10.
You know, with only 2 timeouts during the game, both teams' conditioning will really be tested.
Mosley will be shooting 2 when we return as we are off and running. The ball, the debut in the nation's capital, as the Ball Stars off to a very fast start. Look at that look from Bowie to Etherly for the slam. And again, the Ball Stars on that break. He's just got to get back on defense. 25-15, Maryland early. The Ball Pro Basketball Series benefits the V Foundation, celebrating its 20th year since Jim Valvano announced its founding in his legendary Don't Ever Give Up speech. To learn more or donate, visit jimmyv.org. Maryland with the early lead, 25-15, 2:08 left here in the first quarter. Maryland started on a 22-6 run, DC 9-3 run since, as we get a good look at left-hander Lefty Driesell, second all-time winningest coach at the University of Maryland. Good to see him out here tonight.
It's great to see him. That's a historical figure in the gym right now.
Yeah.
Legendary teams that he had at Maryland, the Lefty Driesell Hex. Remember that when he used to put the X up and to opposing players shooting free throws late in the game?
Because I grew up here in DC, and I couldn't wait. You talking about summer ball?
Yeah.
I used to go to his Maryland basketball camp, and he couldn't have been nicer.
Yeah.
You know, you go into a camp, you think, oh, he's just going to show up the first day and talk,
right,
and then go and come back on Friday. He was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Very available, always wanted to talk, and he's just a great guy, and it's good to see him out here tonight. But yeah, he was very animated on the sidelines, to say the least.
Yeah, but you know what? He's one of the guys that, you know, he understands what you put in the game, you get out. And you see him over there, he's enjoying this as much as he's enjoyed any coaching assignment he's had in his career. It's great to see him here.
We talked about some of the differences. Okay, that was a Sean Mosley free throw for 2 points, so he only took 1. He got fouled, but he just took 1 for 2 points. So you're starting to get the idea here of what the ball does. Little wrinkles to speed up the game, and I think that's a travel, and that's a turnover, so it will be Maryland basketball. 27-15.
So we got some a little smaller lineup now for Maryland, trying to space the floor a little bit.
Bowie, right wing, 8 to shoot, trying to beat Taylor off the dribble. Tough shot from Maryland, and Jai Lewis is in there. Oh, look at those quick hands by DC. Pushing it away. Freeman's got the step. And the layup, missed it. Going up high. And we got a jump ball coming up, as we saw some athleticism there. And it is possession, so the Ball Stars will take over. So you see Robert Olson's checked in. There he is at Loyola. The old triple threat. Mosley way downtown. That's a 4-pointer.
Got our first one of the day, huh?
There it is. Got a push on Bowie in the backcourt. And like Mosley shot 1 free throw for 2 points. You get fouled on a 3, you shoot 1 for 3,
right,
and so forth.
Right. And so Mosley, one of the few guys on the floor that's strong enough that doesn't have to break his form to shoot from that deep.
Mike Hall has just checked in, former Colonial, short arms it. Also Padgett in there, along with Chris De La Rosa out of Loyola. There's Padgett working against Jai Lewis. Up and under, good D, and Lewis keeps it alive.
Jai Lewis of the great George Mason run.
Incredible. There he is, 4-point shot short.
He's been playing over Japan the last 4 seasons and the Hokkaido region.
You're right, Mosley just looks like he can shoot from 35.
Oh
with that
yeah,
form.
yeah, just
very
strong,
pure.
Strong upper body and beautiful release.
Taylor's three's off the iron. Padgett with the rebound. Here comes Mosley.
You know, I think we'll see 4-point shots more in a fast break situation, and our viewers may think, well, why is that? Well, they've got momentum going into the shot, and the defense isn't set. So I think you'll see more shots from 4-point range off breaks or semi-break situations.
So Bowie here is going to shoot 1 free throw for 2 points as he got hit going up. Take a look at some of these guys who just played at Maryland, so fresh in their minds. You still remember exactly what they can do, can't do, and see if they're working on some of the things they need to get to that next level. Bowie, good defense, but they whistle a hit. So DC's going to shoot 1.
Adrian Bowie averaged 18 points in Germany this year in the Pro B League for Hurton Lions. So it's a guy who's taking advantage of being able to score a lot more than he was asked to at Maryland.
Abdullah Jalad to the line to shoot 1. That's right. And that is the end of the first quarter. So the free throw was errant, as Maryland off to a very fast start, as the DC Dobermans will try their best to hang around early going. It's all Ball Stars up 33-15. To see that 3 from Taylor from that left wing. Right now, Maryland and Sean Mosley from 4, lead by 18. If you can make a shot from 25 feet, that's worth 4 points in this league. Well, the DC Dobermans are holding a contest to find guys who can knock, or girls who can knock down that shot. The winner gets $1,000 cash and a roster spot on the DC Dobermans. Tryouts will be held right here at the Smith Center from 5 to 7 next Wednesday night, July 31st. Go to DCDobermans.com to register and get more details. Details so far tonight, up and down. There are a couple guys that you have liked what you've seen so far.
Yeah, there's been a nice connection between Adrian Bowie and Eric Etherly. Etherly really getting out on the break, getting behind the defense, and Bowie pushing the rock, and it's been a consistent theme early that's allowed Maryland to get out to this lead.
Yeah, Gilchrist, that nice find down low as we are off and running. Second quarter, Stephen Barno, Frank Hanrahan courtside, as Maryland has really lit it up early, and with easy buckets like that. 20-point lead, largest of the contest. Sean Mosley, by the way, leading the way for the Ball Stars with 11 points in that first quarter. Jai Lewis off the window.
Jai Lewis showing you that he's a big fella, but he's got those great feet, something the New York Giants saw.
I remember that, right?
Yeah, able to go in there and get a little time on the gridiron.
Jay's off. There's Jai Lewis, and I wonder how coaches in the NFL can see that and say that could translate, because the guy from San Diego, what was his name, that was a basketball player, and he kind of set the mode. Gates.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, oh, look out. A little eager move there by Maryland. I think they stepped down a bounds, so turned over. Moses is going to check back in. Third turnover by Maryland.
Well, you take a look here. Botched lob attempt.
Yeah.
But you see Etherly once again behind the defense. That effort is paying off dividends for Maryland.
July with the dribble. There's the aforementioned Lewis. Hall put back, can't get it to go. Then he gets it on the tip in. First bucket for the former GW product.
Mike Hall showing his length there. Versatility, able to play in the post, but also on the perimeter.
Got it smacked away did De La Rosa, so stays Maryland basketball. I remember Hall played briefly for the Wizards several years ago. Olsen thinking deep deuce. Pull up Jay Hart off the iron. Jala front court. Pinnock. Terps are back on D, Ball Stars. You get so used to seeing all the same guys, you still call him a Terp.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor, step back three. That's Aaron, and who's it off of last? Off of DC, so goes over to Maryland.
It'd be interesting to see the guards on both sides, Frank. You know, you got to work with your bigs because in this situation, they don't touch the rock a lot. They run up and down, they got to bang in the post, got to rebound and then give up the ball. So this is good to see James get an opportunity.
Lewis picking the pocket, but then he gets it picked the other way. It's on the deck, turned over. De La Rosa, ball faking. Oh, nice find underneath. Mosley can't finish with that left hand, but Maryland controls. Mosley, 3-ball. That's good. He's got 14. I hate to use that cliche, but he's got an NBA body.
He does.
You know?
He does. I think the question might be a little bit of his athleticism or lack thereof, but he definitely is strong enough and has enough range on his jumper, like we've seen here early on.
Uh-oh. 4-pointer from Mosley, short. Hall with that rebound. All to his old teammate Pinnock. 19-point lead for the Ball Stars. Two-man game out top. Oh, nifty over the shoulder pass. Lewis corrals. Can't finish on the layup. You see the 4-point field goal attempts. DC 0 for 7. There's a 4-pointer. It's way short, and that's the thing you got to get used to. A lot of these guys is way short. No, Hall from 30. Got it!
And you see him touch the emblem. He said, I'm at home, ladies and gentlemen. I know this court.
I know these rims.
That's right.
Jumper from Etherly's off. Lewis with another rebound. DC trying to carve into this lead. Good defense by Maryland. That's a 4-point shot. Got it.
And that's the toughest 4-point shot that you'll see right there.
John with that 4-point shot. Oh, it's too easy the other way. De La Rosa. But with 2 back-to-back 4-pointers, only a 13-point lead. Is that continuation? And there's another part we can add in. If a player makes an and one, they don't shoot the free throw. It just counts it.
Yeah, so it's late in the game. It's going to be interesting to see how it happens. Look at Hall. Now that's a heat check right there.
That could be 35 feet.
And then touches the emblem to let everyone know this is my house. Palos Heights, Illinois native Mike Hall, showing us extreme range.
So Jala to the line to shoot 1 free throw for 2 points.
Dula played in Qatar this season. As people don't realize, 54 countries around the world, professional basketball leagues. So you hear us talking about some of these guys and where they play. Don't be confused. Basketball's second most popular sport in the world behind soccer.
Moldovenu's check back in as Lewis takes a seat. Gis, right wing. Gilchrist back in there, under 6 to play, second quarter. Bowie, oh, look at Mosley, got that step. Sweet reversal and finishes. So far, he's having quite a game for Maryland.
James Gis giving up his body, clearing out the paint area so Mosley could get to the rim.
Freeman showing some speed off that wing. 42-31.
Austin Freeman had a very productive year. 27 games over in Israel. Averaged 15 points a game.
Backdoor. Gets to Gilchrist. Again, no free throw. That's automatically counted as a good shot.
Even in Summer League, it's good right now to move without the basketball. James Gist has done a lot of good things on the floor. Maybe that's why his Panathinaikos team this year in Greece won the championship, for plays similar to that.
Back the other way. DC cutting that lead to 12.
Dula has come in and really given some effort off the bench for the Dobermans.
Spinning. Oh, pull up. Mosley can't get that roll. Pinnock with the rebound. Here comes DC. Oh, off the hands of Sims. No, they're going to say it's still here. Timeout. 4:49 left, second quarter. DC making a little bit of a run here to make things interesting in the opening night of the ball. The Ball Stars moving that basketball around. Mosley, he's got 16 to lead the way for Maryland. The Ball Pro Basketball Series is being brought to you by Domino's. Mix it up and order any 2 or more Domino's medium 2-topping pizzas, 8-piece chicken, stuffed cheesy breads, oven-baked sandwiches, or pastas in a dish for $5.99 each. Handmade pan pizza may be extra. Ask for this offer. Availability and charges may vary. Great shot of the Washington Monument as Maryland off to a 12-point lead as Stephen Bardo joins me courtside. Frank Hanran here. We talked about where these players have been earning and working on their craft.
Yeah, it's a lot of basketball being played around the world. I've been to France and Japan playing as well, so I understand what some of these experiences these guys are having, and they're able to grow not just as basketball players but as men as well overseas.
They'll play through. Sims guarded by Giss. Kick out. Pinnock. Ball fakes. Nice find for Sims, who scores. Leads down to 10.
Henry Sims really had a great year in the NBDL. Made the All-Star team, averaged 17, and was second in the league in double-doubles. So he's really dedicating himself to constant improvement.
It's one of the great stories as Bowie slashes through for that deuce. Remember his sophomore year, Stephen, I mean, he was barely playing.
Yeah.
Who would have thought you'd have this opportunity now 2-3 years later to stick and stay in the National Basketball Association.
He's got a great example in Roy Hibbert, what he's been able to do at the pro level.
Pinnock with that easy lay-in. Gilchrist back the other way. Etherly trying to take Moldavino off the dribble. Almost lost it. Yes, 4-pointer. That's way short. And that's one of the things about those lines. Sometimes players just fall in love with them and say, hey, why not?
Yeah, they sure do.
I don't know if that's his game.
Oh, definitely not his. It may not be his game, and I know it's not his range.
Right, right.
And there's only one guy that's shown so far that he can consistently hit that shot. And that's Sean Mosley.
Sims back-to-back buckets. Right now at the closest since the game was 14-6. DC has carved into this lead down to 8. Yes, double. They're trying to go one-on-one with Sims. Good defense. 3-on-1. Behind. Oh, it's too much on it. Probably should have found Sims there on the trail.
Yeah, got to feed the big man when they run like that.
So take another look at that one. This is 2 points they should certainly have on that scoreboard, but they give it away.
Yeah, nice dig down to come up with the steal, but just a little bit too much English. Not feeding the big fella right there as he's running the floor. Gotta let the big guys eat.
Keep him happy.
That's right.
Oh, look at that. Sean Moses putting on the show.
Sean Moses trying to put up 30+ tonight.
Yeah, he's got 19 of the Ball Stars 50. Moldavino going to line up a 4-pointer. Short.
Give it right back to him.
Yeah.
I'm Bowie. Look for the hot hand.
Gilchrist guarded tightly by Freeman. That's a deep one. For 3, I was going to say I had to wait for a second.
Yeah, just inside though.
Back up by 14. Moldavino. Pinnock. Taylor's back in there. Got the roll. Nope. Moldavino offensive putback gets hit, and he'll shoot 1 free throw. So we're starting to get the hang of this.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, you
makes sense.
Picking it up quickly, Frank.
Well, you know, it's funny. The idea of late in the game when a team is in the penalty of possession of 1 free throw is actually an old rule way back when. And the only reason I know this is because I used to talk to my dad about basketball because he came up playing in the 50s.
Okay.
You know, and you're always curious about the differences of the game and how it's evolved. And that was one that always stuck with me. So when I was looking at the rules, I said, hey, that's actually an old school rule and not a bad one.
No, definitely not.
Because you see at the highest levels, college, high school, it becomes a free throw shooting contest late in games.
It drags the game
just
out.
drags it out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we played in the second round NCAA tournament, had a very similar situation. You see Pageant right there, getting fouled, but we were up 12 points with 1:30 seconds left and ended up losing on a last-second buzzer beater because we couldn't. As a team, we didn't hit our free throws.
What year was this for you at Illinois?
This was my sophomore season, so we were headed to the Sweet 16 and, you know, could knock down our free throws. So it definitely changes the momentum of games at the college level.
Freeman is nice off the window.
He's so smooth, and he continues to improve his game, Frank. I'd be surprised if he doesn't get a serious look at the NBA level.
He looks very trim. Looks like he's in great shape. At Georgetown, that was one of the things that his weight was always a concern. It's just a little too heavy, but he's definitely trimmed down. Trying to get that shot again at the NBA, because I remember actually when he was working out for the Wizards.
Right.
You know, he's doing the whole circuit, trying to get a look. You know, his hope was to be a second-round pick. That wasn't the case. But you look at so many great stories of guys who toil for years, and then look at Antonio Davis, played many years overseas and then got a look, and then lasted for 10, 15 years in the NBA. So there are a lot of stories of guys who, if you don't make it right out of college, it's not the end of your career.
That's right. And that's why opportunities like the ball are so important. Guys like Mario Elie did the same thing, played in the CBA a long time and then went on to have a great career at the NBA level. So don't be surprised to see Austin Freeman among one of those players that's able to make that transition.
Hey, there's Freeman. Back down to 13. He's got 10 points. Under a minute to play. That's just a force for Bowie from that 4-point range. Look at Freeman. 3-on-2. Freeman got hit. Score it.
Score it and keep playing. No free throws. So
that's right. Automatically counts the and one.
I thought Freeman had a teammate there, Maldivenu, ahead of him, but he chose to continue to the rim with good results.
You look at a couple guys from the Spurs this year. I was just thinking about who had to toil, as you know, Danny Green got cut, had to go overseas. Kid from Towson as well. The three-point shooter name escapes me. Gary Neal. There it is.
Yeah,
I found it.
He's going to sign. Looks like he's going to sign a free agent contract with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, break down defensively. Oh, Sims can't corral it. 20 seconds left first half. Sims trying to take Paget off the dribble. 7 to shoot. Turnaround jumper. Good for Henry Sims. Leads down to 8.
Don't be surprised at a 4-point shot here.
Yep, 6 to play. First half. Two-man game out top. There it is. That's going to be way short at the horn. Entertaining first half of basketball as the Maryland Ball Stars get a big first half from Sean Mosley and lead 58-50. So Mosley really was sharp. All right, let's bring in Coach Johnny Newman of the DC Domers. Hey, Coach, after a slow start, you kind of found your way there in that second quarter.
Yeah, definitely. We picked it up a little bit of a slow start. We didn't get many stops, and Mosley hit some shots early on. But I think we're getting in a rhythm now, and hopefully the second half we can get going.
It seems like, Coach, you guys are getting a little bit more balance in terms of Austin Freeman and Sims inside. Is that something that you concentrated on in the first half?
Well, definitely. I know they had more guards and big guys down there. We're going to try to get some mismatches down low, but we just couldn't hit a basket. We couldn't hit layups starting off, you know, even our big guys. So now they're getting into a little rhythm. getting a good sweat up, and hopefully they'll be able to continue to make some baskets, but we definitely need to get it done on the defensive end.
You mentioned defense, second half keys for you guys to come back from 8 points down and get a W.
Well, then we have to get up on Mosley and keep the ball out of his hands and get some loose balls. We lost a lot of loose balls and give them some second chance opportunities to score the basketball. We just got to pick up the intensity, and sometimes when you have these type of games, when you start off with guys you're not familiar with, it takes a little while, but you know, we crawl back into it. We're down 8, so I think we can go from here and get a W.
All right, it's Coach Johnny Newman of the DC Dobermans at halftime here with Maryland up by 8, 58-50 as we head to the break. Some halftime festivities coming away next, but first, nice find from Pinnock down to Henry Sims. There's Adrian Bowie with that sweet move. Another special guest as well coming up at halftime, plus first half stats and highlights. But at the break, it's the Ball Stars, led by John Gilchrist, lead DC Dobermans 58-50. Jason Clark at Georgetown will join us next, halftime here in DC. Halftime, Maryland with a 8-point lead over the DC Dobermans with Stephen Bardo courtside. The Ball Stars with an 8-point advantage. Sean Mosley had 19 points in that first half. He really led the charge for those Ball Stars.
He got going early from deep. That 4-point shot was really good to him, and that kind of got them going, along with Eric Etherly getting out on the break.
Let's take a look at these first half highlights, shall we? As the DC Dobermans get trailed by 8 points. And Austin Freeman getting it and going the distance.
You know, Austin Freeman really putting his body on the defense, and once he lowers his shoulders like this, getting to the rim, very difficult to stop with that nice frame of his, and getting out on the break.
4-point love affair for both teams.
Wow.
That was Mike Hall with that first of the evening.
And that was from 5-point range if we had one. Abdullah showing you what he did all year long in Qatar this season.
The early going saw a lot of this, a lot of easy buckets for Etherly, formerly out of Loyola for the Ball Stars, as they were pushing it and pushing it good.
Yeah, he made sure in warm-ups that he got loose and he got behind the defense early, gave him that cushion. And you know, in these situations, it's guys that hustle can come up with a lot of easy buckets.
So the Ball Stars also getting some good work from John Gilchrist and Sean Mosley, as talking about how fluid his 3-point shot is. Well, let me check that. His 4-point shot.
Well, you see his shoulders right there. Just has the ability to shoot the ball with range and not break form, which from that distance a lot of players end up doing.
And this is Mosley again from 4-point range. He's away with 19. All right, Stephen, first half stats. Anything jump out at you?
Well, I think DC Dobermans was smart in terms of the 3-point shot. I think they got a little 4-point shot happy. Turnovers low on both sides, but if they listen to Jason Clark's advice and play harder, this would be a much closer game.
All right, let's bring in the head coach of the Maryland Ball Stars. A real pleasure to talk with Lefty Driesell as he is joining us here at the break. Coach, thanks for coming on. What'd you think of the first half?
Well, I thought we played pretty good most of the time, but toward the end of the half, we started taking quick shots, and we didn't play the clock well, and they got too many layups and easy baskets. We got to make them stop from getting the ball inside and penetrating. But you know, we got we should have had a 14, 15-point lead. I told them I want 110 points, but we got to play defense. We're not playing that good a defense, but we shoot the ball pretty well. I hope we can keep it up.
Did you say something to Adrian Bowie and Eric Etherly at the beginning of the game, because they were able to get out on the break and get you guys that early cushion?
Well, you know, I said let's run. Every time we get the ball, get it to the point guard and push it. So we did a good job of that and got a lot of easy baskets and made some threes and looked pretty good. And toward the end of the half, I think we got a little tired and they started forcing some shots, which I don't like. But we got to play better this half.
So, Coach, how does it feel to be back on the sidelines?
It feels all right. I wish I'd make it $2 million like these coaches are. You know, when I went to Maryland, my salary was $14,000.
Jeez.
You know, if I come from Davidson to Maryland, now I'd be making $3 million. You know, but you know, no, I've had my fun, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm having fun tonight if we can win. I told him I ain't playing games to lose.
All right, Coach, thank you so much, man, and we appreciate it.
All right,
the left-hander left to Drizel as his Ball Stars have an 8-point lead here at the break, 58-50. Second half, straight ahead.
Here's a 4-point shot the other way. It's good. First one ever, Austin Freeman for 4. Wright drives in. Here's his runner. Got it. Nice alley-oop for the slam. John Gilchrist from Maryland to James Gist from Maryland. Clark accelerating down the lane. Ho-ho!
We're just isolating. No, he didn't.
Jai Lewis just crossed Frank Elliott.
And ran up the floor like he meant to do that.
Get set for the start of the second half, and we touched on a lot of these guys that are playing here tonight for both DC and Maryland have had some run in the D-League as we take a look at Sims, Taylor, and Wright. Now, Chris is not playing tonight because of an ankle issue, but you know, the D-League produces some very good players, and you see it at the NBA level. I think it's well over 100 players now have been in the D-League now participate.
Well,
in the NBA.
It's a great platform, and Henry Sims is probably taking the best advantage of that platform, averaging 17 points and 7 rebounds per game this season. Made the All-Star team, got a call up, so he is really utilizing that platform.
Yeah, many teams almost made the Knicks roster originally out of the gate in training camp. The Knicks were always eyeing him during the D-League to see if they would give him another shot. But as the old coaches used to say, the summertime is when you work on your game to get better. That's what these guys are doing here tonight. So we get set for that second half. Again, Maryland's up by 8. That is Lefty Drizel coaching the Ball Stars. Johnny Newman, head coach of the DC Dobermans. Stephen Bardo, I'm Frank Hanrack. Glad that you're with us as we kick off the ball. Opening night here in the nation's capital. Maryland is in, yes, the red, and DC in the home whites. And we haven't mentioned the DC Dobermans logo, as you get a good look there on the chest. Right there. I like the headband.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. And, they need to start playing like Dobermans if they're gonna win this game, because Maryland came out of the box ready to go.
All right, jump ball to start this second half. Sims and Etherly will jump it. Pinnock hauls in there with Freeman, Sims, and Taylor to start the second half. Gilchrist, Bowie, Etherly, Gist, and Mosley, the Ball Stars 5, and Maryland wins the tip.
Look for Gilchrist to get going early. He's a guy that struggled a little bit to find his rhythm, but boy, when he gets hot, he can put him up in bunches.
Gist forcing the 4-pointer. Pinnock the other way, looking for the backdoor cut. Now they'll reset. I think I've only mentioned the shot clock down once so far, so both teams getting it up early. Now 7 to shoot, so second time. Taylor got the step and scores. Leads down to 6. 9-0 run now for DC if we go back to the first half.
Tony Taylor has really worked on his body in the NBDL. You can see that as he gets past his defender, he can really finish.
Etherly could not finish. 3-on-3 the other way. There's Taylor. Pinnock, deep 3. Pulls it. That's hard off the iron-long board. Tracked down by Gist.
You know I'm old school because I don't understand a lot of times when guys shoot threes on the break that are contested threes. You can get that shot at any time.
Lob down. Now Gist trying to work Sims on the skip. 5 to shoot. So maybe both teams ramping up their defense a little bit now that we're mentioning the shot clock's going down.
Trying to tighten it up a little bit. Gilchrist getting a little happy with the feet.
Turned over. Quickly the other way. Freeman for 4. In and out. Cut that lead down to 2. Look at the quick hands for Pinnock. Turned over by the Ball Stars. Trying to take Gilchrist. A little crab dribble. Missed it. Right down that one back. Front court. Bowie. There's Mosley at 19 points in that first half.
Boy, Pinnock with really good defense that time. Maybe the only perimeter defender strong enough to stay in front of him.
Bowie can't finish. A little eager on the throw ahead from Freeman, so turned over by DC. 6-point lead. It's only the 5th turnover of the evening for the Dobermans.
And that's refreshing because typically in summer league ball, you see some careless play, but these guys are, for the most part, have taken care of the ball very well.
The look away. Freeman cuts that lead to 4. 58-54. We talked with former Hoya Jason Clark at halftime, and he said, we got some Hoyas on this team. We got to play some better defense. And so far, much better in the second half. 3 ball. That's hard off the iron as Hall goes up high. And GW product, J.R. Pinnock can't track it down, so Maryland basketball. Quickly the last hoop, because these games do fly as Freeman flies in. That easy layup. Trying to double here.
Shot clock running down a little bit.
And we've got an illegal screen out top, and that's another rule that we'd like to touch on. You can't set a high ball screen at the top of the key.
And you can understand James Gist being a little bit frustrated right there because it's so unnatural for big men to not set that screen right there. That's such a huge part of the game, but you just have to be aware in this situation.
And you see the rule note, no ball screens allowed at the top of the key. There's a 3 from Hall is errant. Mosley pushing that issue until somebody stops him. Nobody does. High off the glass. That was his move in Maryland when he used to beat people off the dribble. Use that window.
So he had a nice change of pace there too. Kind of caught the defense off guard.
Sims tipped in. And let's mention another rule. It's the European rule, which a lot of times U.S. players are not used to it. They say, well, wait a second, that should be goaltending. No, it's not. And that is a 4-pointer from Gilchrist, 3-pointer, excuse me. He was trying to, he almost convinced me because he was looking at the ref, and I said, well, if he says 4, that is a 4-pointer from Austin Freeman. We got a 3-point game.
It's like Jason Clark got in a huddle there and picked up the intensity from his ex-teammates.
Scort as Bowie beautifully splitting the defense. I think Hall wanted an offensive foul with that fend off, but not going to get it. Automatic free throw, 66-60 lead.
Adrian Bowie is one of those guards that's very difficult to contain. He's quicker than you think. He's stronger than he looks. He's a lefty, so he's got an advantage. And he's used to scoring the basketball like he did this season in Germany. He averaged 18 points a game.
Freeman, another one from 4-point range. As soon as it left his hand, he knew it was good. Bowie, the distance, can't finish. DC can actually take the lead on this possession, trailing by 2. Oh, Lob City. Tie ball game, 66 apiece.
Well, the big fella getting rewarded, getting a chance to eat, running the floor, getting behind the defense.
Well, getting behind the defense is guess somebody fell asleep, and is that in the act of shooting? We'll see. But Abdullah with that great look ahead.
Beautiful lead pass for Sims.
It's not easy.
No.
Fading away and throwing it up. It's a beautiful play. Tie ball game. Coming up on 5 to play, third quarter.
And interesting, the pace is slowed a little bit. A bit more half-court action here in the third quarter.
Gist can't finish, and Pinnock turns it over. Now he's hobbled. Nice find ahead. Etherly with that jam. Good look from De La Rosa. Played his college ball at UMBC. Etherly at Loyola up in Baltimore. Pinnock. Baseball pass. Sims. It's always tough when the rim, the net is kind of stuck. Ball Stars back up by 2. Mosley got the step. Burrows in. Can't finish. Got his own rebound. Tried to reverse it. Missed it. And we got a loose ball foul on the Ball Stars. 4:41 left. Third quarter. It's DC and Maryland getting a little tight here. Ball Stars still with that 2-point lead.
The Ball Pro Basketball Series is being brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's Sporting Goods.
68-66 lead for the Ball Stars. Now, as you've seen tonight, if you can make a shot from 25 feet, that's worth 4 points in this league. Well, the DC Dobermans are holding a contest to find guys who can knock that shot down. The winner gets $1,000 in cash. A roster spot on the DC Dobermans rounds will be held right here at the Smith Center 5 to 7 p.m. next Wednesday, July 31st. Go to dcdobermans.com to register and get more details. Here's some details for you, Stephen. Austin Freeman, 10 of DC's 16 points this half, including 2 4-pointers.
So he got the memo. The most important part of the game is the first 5 minutes of the second half to establish the team's identity moving forward.
Mosley to De La Rosa. Oh, look at the no-look find underneath. Everly with the easy deuce. Great no-look from De La Rosa. Back up to 4 is the lead for the Ball Stars.
Bowie and De La Rosa really doing a good job of finding Etherly behind the D.
Look at Freeman. Once again, can beat you outside, and now he's taking you off the dribble.
Knows how to use that frame. Uses his pace very well, and he's rarely off balance.
Gets turned it over. And they're into double figures now in the turnover category with 10. Sims jumper way short. Looks like Mike Hall got it swatted away, but then he gets a whistle. So 1 free throw for 2 shots coming up, 2 points rather coming up.
Like Mike Hall was fortunate that time. Sound like a lot of ball was slapped as he went up.
Yeah. It's interesting to officiate because sometimes when you see the guy leave his feet, it's almost like you anticipate the foul. And I think that's probably why that happened on that one. Hall makes the free throw for 2 points. And we are all tied up, 70 apiece. For a very slow start, DC has knotted this ball game up. I think we got a hold on Taylor out front. As you can see out front, you can see the nation's capital, because this week, in fact, they unveiled this new court. You can see the monuments on the court, which is fantastic.
This venue is fantastic. I mean, it's you know, the sight lines are excellent.
Sight line excellent there from Bowie, finding Etherly. Ball Stars back up by 2.
Dr. Giselle has found something. They've gone to that side pick and roll 3 of the last 4 plays. He sees some type of advantage that they have in that situation.
De La Rosa, oh, he froze Freeman with the old fake behind the back.
De La Rosa hit him with the okey doke.
Yeah.
Now you see me, now you don't.
And the first time I think I saw that was a DC product, Sherman Douglas, the '87 Final Four. Killed somebody with that.
Yeah.
Against, I believe, Indiana.
Yeah, he killed me a couple times in the Elite 8 game in '89. We were able to escape, but
that's right. That was a classic.
Yeah, he hit us with that a few times as well.
Game. Wow.
Yeah.
Ball Stars back up by 4. And that entry is turned over. Here comes De La Rosa. Oh. He's got that no-look pass down to his science. On the floor, they whistle the foul. But that's the thing about basketball. Every game, you're going to see something different, something new.
Well, basketball, especially in the summer league, to me resembles jazz. The improvisation, guys being able to create on the fly and taking whatever the defense gives them and making something out of it.
Oh, Bowie just blowing by Freeman, but he blows the layup. Comes DC. Almost turned it over, tracked down by Taylor. 10 to shoot. On the jump, there's Freeman. Another 4-ball, short. Nice tip from Abdullah. The layup is good. Back to a 2-point game. Taylor scores.
Well, intensity has definitely picked up on the defensive end for the Dobermans. They're starting to live up to their moniker now.
Here's Etherly. He's got 14 points. As they're going to say in the act of shooting, I think so. So one free throw coming up for him. Yep. Chance to get his 16th point. 2 minutes left here, third quarter.
Seems like the Maryland players, anybody that Vlad Moldavino is guarding on the perimeter, they're trying to isolate him one-on-one.
Free throws in and out. So he had a chance to get 2 points on that one free throw. So big miss there as it's tight. Freeman doubled out top, 7 to shoot. Now going to take Mosley one-on-one. Quick first step and even a tougher finish. It's always amazing how they gather your momentum in the air and score it. It's a thing of beauty.
And he's got a last step right before he leaves the floor that creates space better than most wing players.
Look at that block. Freeman, Euro step laying. First lead of the ball game for DC, up by 2 as Austin Freeman's got 29 points. Just like that. Paget power dribble. Got it to go. Tie ball game, 76 apiece.
Nice move there by Paget, but Johnny Newman obviously has his players a little bit more defensive minded.
Lewis has just checked in. Spinning, taking Paget. Layup, it's no good, but he's going to shoot one for 2 points.
Nickname Yaya, Ja Lewis, showing you the nifty ability along the baseline. Some of that footwork that the New York Giants were interested in, giving Ja Lewis an opportunity on the gridiron. 2006
Final Four. It's an incredible run. Just think about the guys that UConn had and what they're still doing. One of the greatest upsets of all time in the NCAA tournament.
And in that run, George Mason beat the last 3 national champions on their way to the Final Four.
De La Rosa's jumper's way off the mark. That was an Elite 8 game. George Mason beating UConn at Verizon. Oh, look at Freeman. Can't finish with that left hand. Put back is good. Abdullah scores, so DC back up by 2.
It'll be interesting here in the fourth quarter, Frank. A close game now, and the pace has slowed considerably. So some of those rules that we talked about were going to start to come into play.
Bowie for 3. That's hard off the and Paget with 10 seconds left gets the offensive rebound. Doubled, stolen. Freeman's got to eye the clock. With 2, going to get it off at the horn. Does it count? Well, I think it would have. But that is the end of the third quarter. Should be a fantastic and entertaining fourth quarter ahead of us as DC is clawed all the way back to have a 2-point lead. Look at that defense by DC in the breakout. Austin Freeman, that left-hander. End of 3. DC's up 2.
The Ball Pro Basketball Series is powered by Under Armour. I will.
Great shot of the nation's capital on a Saturday night as we start the fourth quarter. The Ball Basketball Alumni Legends League with Stephen Bardo, Frank Hanrahan. The DC Dobermans have a 2-point lead as we start this fourth quarter. All right, Stephen, it's now time for our Domino's Feed the Post play of the game.
Coming off a nice steal, Chris De La Rosa with the sweet dime to Eric Etherly. We've seen that a few times tonight.
Yeah, he rolled the R and he rolled that bounce pass to Etherly. with that easy jam. You gotta love it when you're a wing player. You run the court, you got a guy who can find you with ease like that. All right, fourth quarter is here as we take a look at our upcoming games. Thursday at 7. North Carolina versus DC, also catching online on ESPN3. Virginia, DC Saturday at 7. Then August 5th, Philadelphia versus DC. All right, DC going with Pinnock, Hall, Sims, Freeman, who's red hot, 29 points to lead all scores. And Abdullah for the Dobermans, 2-point lead for DC at the ball as we get this fourth quarter started. Freeman, jump stopping, blocked. A look ahead. Oh, what a find. Bounce pass. Bowie, can he save it? Yes, he can. Lob down. Etherly, there he is again. We talked about it at the start. He's gonna reap the rewards of his style of play in this game. There's he is with a steal.
Well, he's an energy guy. He doesn't always look pretty, but he's always around the basketball. He's got a great nose for the rock.
Bowie can't make that layup. Pinnock trying to break down De La Rosa off the dribble. Can't. And they'll reset. Pinnock thinking. Dribble drive behind the back to Sims. Feathery touch for 2.
And Maryland has gone small. They basically got 4 perimeter players on the floor, so looking to get Sims the basketball on the block. DC.
Shot is Aaron. DC with a 2-point lead. Freeman, oh, behind the back, got hit going up. That's some strength right there as he's going to shoot 1 free throw for 2 points.
Freeman's handle, his ability to handle in traffic is underrated.
Yeah.
He made a quick adjustment there as the defense adjusted and was still able to get to the rim. He is really putting on a clinic here, showing all facets of his game tonight.
Free throw for 2 points is good. We'll keep a track of team fouls. Maryland's got 12 now, 4 more. DC's in the bonus. DC's at 9 fouls. Definitely feeling it. Trying to take Sims. Jump pass. Mosley. Jumper is good. He's got 23.
Maryland wants to stay close. That he needs to touch the rock almost every time down. He's had a lot of success from deep. Strong enough to get that shot off from 4-point land and also able to get it to the rim.
Sims backing down. Jump hook shot is good. DC's back up by 4. Netherly spinning. Oh, tough shot. Cuts that lead to do. As you see the fouls again, 12-9.
So DC's going to look. It's going to be the Georgetown show coming down the stretch. Either Sims.
Oh, he got hit going up.
Sims or Freeman will get the rock the majority of the time coming down the stretch. Sims does an excellent job of facing the defense up, swinging through and going with his left hand. You don't see very many 6'10" guys with that ability.
So 1 free throw for 2 points. Sims has 16 of them. Make it 18. 4-point lead for DC.
You know, the problem with this lineup for Maryland, as I see it, they've got to get stops, because if DC can score, then there's no advantage. They have to walk the ball up the floor and play half-court basketball with basically 5 guards.
Loose ball foul on Maryland. Now team fouls 14. So there are 2 fouls now from the bonus, which would mean a free throw or selection by DC to take it out of bounds. De La Rosa, scoop pass, Bowie.
Sims playing into Maryland's hands with a fadeaway. You got the size advantage. Take a little bit more time and put some pressure on the defense.
That's a big shot from Bowie. Puts that lead to 1. Big 3 for Maryland. He's got 18 points. I was thinking Maryland, when he was hot or cold, man. You know, there was no in between for Bowie. So if he can get hot late for Maryland, that'll be a good thing. Tough move though by DC. De La Rosa with that quickness the other way. 3-point deficit. Oh, look out. That might have been an offensive foul. It was. Saw that arm go out.
De La Rosa was
giving the call.
He was giving the ball a headache. He dribbled the whole shot clock on that possession.
Coming up on 6 to play here, fourth quarter. Sims with the left hand and scores it. You go from the right and with the left there.
So he knew he made a mistake the previous possession when he settled for a fadeaway jumper. He's got to get to the rim.
Speaking of getting to the rim, Bowie traveled. Yep, he did. Turned over. That's the 13th of the evening for Maryland. This is the largest lead of the game for DC at 5 points.
Yes, and they've really been systematic in obtaining a lead. Slowed the pace down, gotten it to their main guys in Austin Freeman and Henry Sims, and they've been very patient.
See the numbers there, the turnovers. And speaking of, that's the 9th now for DC. And we're getting to that time of the game. Every possession is really going to be crucial for both teams. All-Stars down by 5.
Mosley's not giving this up. He's shooting this ball. Oh, I'm surprised there. I saw that light there.
Padgett got it poked from Sims, but Bowie with it. Back to Padgett with the left hand. Oh, look at that athleticism from Etherly to tip it in. He's got 20.
Etherly, the type of player, Frank, that you hate to play against, but you love to have him on your squad.
Yep. 3-point lead. Pinnock thinking. Try to take Bowie off the dribble, turns it over. Big steal. De La Rosa. Oh, look at that block. De La Rosa's down. Abdullah with the big block. De La Rosa's okay the other way. Sims gathers it and will not make the shot, but he'll shoot one free throw for 2 points. Good defense by DC.
You see De La Rosa trying to get free, and Abdullah like, not here, young fella. I'm going to deny you on this one. We're trying to win this ball game, and defensive plays like that are tremendous.
What's that old saying, when you're on the break, don't look back? That's what De La Rosa did. Gave him that little millisecond for DC to recover. Sims missing the free throw. Hall turnaround, can't get it to fall down. Sims with the rebound, and we got a traveling violation turned over. 4:51 left here, fourth quarter. With DC up by 3, 90-87. Henry Sims doing the left and the right hand to help DC. 3-point lead, late going here in the fourth quarter. (90-87) with 4:51 left here in the fourth quarter. We're now joined by Mike Parker of Under Armour, who is going to reveal tonight's player of the game. So take it away, Mike.
Well, tonight's player of the game, he did a great job. He was out there, you know, doing it all different types of ways, is Austin Freeman.
Georgetown product.
You can see the numbers, 31 points, 2 4-point field goals made. So we can see what Austin did here tonight.
A lot of times those scores, Mike, you know, they get those layups early, and then that basket gets bigger and they can extend their range. Looks like that's what Austin Freeman was able to take advantage of.
Yeah, I think he was on fire. It was a heat check for him. You know, there wasn't a shot he couldn't miss. So, you know, sometimes you get it like that as a player. When you feel it, you just got to let it go.
I'm sure players are always like, why can't it always be like that?
That's right.
You know, that's the great mystery. It's incredible. Some nights you got it, like tonight for Austin. Mosley had it going early, and that shot is short, and good block by Hall. It's DC with the ball in a 3-point lead. Pinnock, that's a deep one. That's hard off the iron, but there's Henry Sims. They've got poked in the eye. Uh-oh, Hall's going to tee up a long 4-pointer in and out, and it's kept alive and scored by Pinnock. It's a big putback, 5-point lead now for DC.
I've really been impressed with their ability to turn it up with just the intensity.
definitely feel it. Both teams now into crunch time. Etherly with another bucket. 22 for him. Former Loyola product. Sims. Speaking of feeling it, Henry Sims with another deuce. He's got 22.
Now that we're inside the last 5 minutes, don't be surprised to see teams try to press a little bit to get that turnover. Only 5 seconds to get across the half-court line.
That's right, another rule we want to pass on late going. It's 5 seconds to get it across half-court, so the defensive team can certainly press to try to get a turnover. No look to Freeman, the player of the game. How do you like that one? He checks, said Mike Parker. He's red hot now.
You weren't surprised by that, Mike, were you?
Not at all. Not at all.
Whistle and a foul.
So it looks like you have a little game in you.
I used to play. I used to play back in the days.
Back in the day?
Yeah, I had an opportunity to play at Cornell.
Okay.
I was point guard there for 4 years, and it's the Ivy League, you know.
Oh, come on,
level,
that's
but,
awesome.
You know, hey.
He's trying to poo-poo it like, yeah,
exactly.
Played at Cornell. Get out of here. I would love to trade with you.
Yeah. And you played both on the court and off the court.
Indeed. And
Taylor, offensive foul.
They made you work on both sides.
Right.
That's for sure.
It's a small world because I actually went to Ithaca College, so I was just right across the hill.
Oh, okay.
So I actually used to go to a lot of Cornell games. So DC with a 7-point lead, 3:07, but Maryland's got the ball. And with that 4-point shot, you know, you can cut that lead down in more than half. De La Rosa trying to work off the dribble.
Surprised they're not trying to get Sean Mosley some more opportunities as well.
Padgett's shot is off the mark. DC is in the bonus right now, so the next foul. Freeman behind the back. Sims icing on the cake.
That was a seeing-eye pass. I don't know how that pass made it through all that traffic. Austin Freeman dishing behind the back, serving the big fella up.
And that is +1, so automatically the point is added. And there you said, there's Mosley. And he gets the line, he'll shoot 1 for 2 points. 10-point lead for DC. That's Mosley to the line. I feel like this game's starting to slip away from the Ball Stars.
And it's really interesting because late in the first half, Maryland just could get anything they wanted.
Yeah.
And it's like Gist is not in the game, and Gilchrist is on the sideline, and it seems as though their flow and their chemistry is just not there here in the second half.
Leads at 8. Coming up on 2 to play. Too easy the other way. Abdullah with that bucket. Pushes it back to 10. Bowie trying his best to keep Maryland around. There's Padgett with the follow. Still very much in it are the Ball Stars with a 4-point shot. 103-95. Even without the 4-point shot, it's only an 8-point lead on the kick. Hall was thinking that 4-pointer. 5 to shoot. Oh, big shot. That might have just done it. A 4-pointer from Abdullah. 3 the other way from Bowie. Is way short. Desperation time now for the Ball Stars and the former Terp.
Yeah, you can say it. That's all right.
Oh, I know. I've only slipped twice.
That's all right.
I'm actually impressed.
You know,
Bowie played just 2 years ago, so he's fresh in my mind. Look at that 4-point shot.
Yeah, we know that Maryland is sponsored by Under Armour as well, so it's a Freudian slip that I think most people will let you have.
Oh, that's right.
Am I right, Mike?
Yeah, it's okay. We'll let that one slide.
12-point lead. Coming up on 1 minute to play. It looks like the Dobermans are going to get their first win of the year. Oh.
So, Mike, what have been your thoughts here in this opening game?
No, it's been very exciting. I think that the guys have come out here to play at a high level. They're competing, and obviously looking to advance their careers, and they put on a good show, put on a great show.
Last couple possessions here. Why not hoist a four-pointer here? Henry Sims for 4. That's off the mark. De La Rosa front court. Terps. And Maryland trying to make a comeback here. Maybe too little too late as the Ball Stars down by 10. 29.3 as a timeout has been called with 29.3 seconds left. Well, let's take a look at what's coming up in the Ball Pro Basketball Series. Thursday, 7 o'clock. North Carolina in town to face the Dobermans. Then a week from today against Virginia. And August 5th, Philadelphia is in town. So good batch of games coming up here at Smith Center. Of course, you catch these games on the Comcast network as well as ESPN3.
We'll be back Thursday and Saturday for those 2 matchups. Interesting to see some of the Carolina blue that will be represented with the North Carolina squad. Lefty Giselle right there, getting the last timeout in.
The look away lob reversal from Etherly, who's shown very well, formerly out of Loyola. All right, so what do you do now if you're Maryland? You fouling right away, trying to extend the game, looking for a steal, foul? What do you do?
I think you're trying to get that turnover, force a turnover. That's why they're picking up full court with that 5-second rule.
Oh, they're looking for a turnover, but Pinnock tracks it down to Sims. Look out. 12-point lead. Sims with 27 points. 4-pointer Mosley. Freeman trying to entertain the crowd with an easy deuce. 14-point lead. In fact, that'll be apropos largest of the game with this 14-point lead. And just 11 seconds left.
Fun start to this series with the ball here. Doberman's really coming back strong at the end.
Well, that's going to do it. Opening night, a success for the DC Dobermans as they get the win, 113-99. We'll come back and talk to a lot of the players who got this thing done tonight. DC opens with a 14-point victory over Maryland. We're back with more after this. $13.99. The Dobermans get the win over Maryland. Now standing by with Stephen is one Henry Sims. Stephen, take it away.
Thanks, Frank. Happy to be joined here by Henry Sims. Henry, I was talking to Austin, and it seems as though you guys got out of the gate a little bit slower. What was going on in the first half?
Warm-ups. You could tell by warm-ups, everybody was just, joking around, really. This is supposed to be something fun, and, both teams, they came out a little bit more fire under themselves than us, but, at the end we picked it up, did what we were supposed to do and get the win. It
seemed as though they tried to isolate you on the block. What did you see in the second half that you were able to take advantage of?
I had a smaller guy on me. Me personally, smaller or bigger don't matter, but I had a smaller guy on me. Coach said, we need you to produce this half, and I did what he wanted me to do.
This season in the NBDL, you were second in double-doubles. You averaged 17 points, 7 rebounds a game. What has been the key to your maturation in your game?
Just mentally. It's been a big mental growth for me this past season. Being a junkyard dog on the boards, just going on the rebounds and finishing strong in the paint. It's just mentality. I could always do it. It's just the mentality this year, it changed for me.
It seems as though you're continuing the tradition of the Georgetown big men. How good is it for you to have an example like Roy Hibbert at the next level to see what hard work has done for his game?
Man, words can't even begin to tell you how hard work Roy worked. I know I can do the same thing. I talk to Roy, regularly. Mm-hmm. And, he tells me, just keep playing, keep working, and he looks out for me. He makes sure I'm in the gym. So it's kind of my responsibility to him, as well as myself and the tradition of Georgetown, to make sure I don't skip a beat.
Okay. And this opportunity here with the Ball, this summer league, and having guys from this area play, what does that mean for you guys in terms of
carrying on your careers?
It's fun, man. You know, we all don't get to see each other that often. You know, during the summer, during the season, you know, everybody's in different countries, different states. And, you know, this is just nice to get out here with guys that we've grown up playing with and just come out and have a good game of basketball, man. And, you know, we definitely appreciate the ball organization and, you know, everybody putting this together just so, you know, it's nice to get up with old friends. I say that. It's nice.
Congratulations on the victory night. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
29
Back
points
to you, Frank.
for Henry Sims. Thank you, Stephen. 29 for Sims, helping the Dobermans get the 113-99 victory. We'll come back with some final thoughts after this. Opening night, success for DC, 14-point victory over Maryland. Back after this.
If you're looking for a great way to have fun and beat the heat during these dog days of summer, you should check out The Ball, a pro basketball league for college hoops junkies. If you missed its debut last August, you're about to get another chance to catch the ball in a showcase presented by Under Armour. The local team is called the DC Dobermans, and it's loaded with star players from Georgetown, GW, George Mason, and American. We're talking big-time local talent like Austin Freeman, Chris Wright, Henry Sims, and Chris Monroe. The Dobermans start play on July 27th with a crosstown grudge match against the Maryland Ball Stars, featuring the likes of DJ Strawberry, John Gilchrist, and James Gist. There will be 4 games at the Smith Center, GW's beautiful arena in Foggy Bottom. Tickets start at just $8, and there isn't a bad seat in the house. That's live professional hoops for less than a movie ticket. What are you waiting for? Get your tickets right now at DCDobermans.com. That's DCDobermans.com.
Great shot of the Iwo Jima Memorial and the Monument and the nation's capital. Opening night here of the ball with DC getting the win 113-99. Sean Mosley of the Maryland Ball Stars joins us. How you doing? You had 23 points tonight. Great first half. And Stephen was saying your 4-pointer was fluid. You were like the one guy who actually could catch it and just release it normally. Talk about that 4-pointer, how much it affects the game and your game.
Well, I just been in the gym every day, 2 times a day, just getting shots up and working on my range and working on my touch, something that I have to improve on going back to Europe this upcoming season. So the 4-pointer shot was kind of challenging. We was shooting them doing warm-ups, and a lot of guys were shooting air balls. So once I got my legs up under me in the first half, everything came natural, like a natural 3-point shot for me.
You know, we were talking about your college career, and you were able to overcome some injuries, and it looks like now you might be in the best shape that we've ever seen you in. Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, it's very accurate. Throughout college, I twist my ankle each year, probably, and this year took care of my body, made sure I didn't have any injuries that caused me to, drop off of my skill level. So, I come in each and every day, take care of my body, get an ice bath, get the proper treatment that I need to get at the University of Maryland. So my body feels great. I feel as though I'm in, like you say, best shape ever. So I just got to keep grinding and making sure I take care of my body.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, how was your experience overseas in Poland this season? You put up good numbers, and it looks like you're very confident right now. Can you talk about that experience?
Oh, it was a great experience. My first year over in Europe, I didn't expect anything. I just wanted to go out there and prove that I can play basketball at any type of level. And my guys in Poland pretty much didn't give me any problems at all. I played 35 minutes a game over there as a rookie. And I just wanted to go out there and try to put the team on my back and just do what I do the best and score the basketball and defend.
Last question for you, Sean Mosley, 23 points. In that second half, did DC step it up a bit defensively? What was the difference there in that second half? Or just missed shots? I don't know.
It was a lot of missed shots on that part, but they got to have some very great talent on their team, and they pretty much played side defense when we tried to use the ball screen. That's what make it so effective when you take out the top of the key. They can zone up and make the court a lot smaller. So that's what they did the second half, and we couldn't really adjust to it, and we was missing a lot of shots that we made in the first half.
Well, Sean, best of luck. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Sean Mosley, former Terp, now with the Ball Stars, as he had 23 points in the loss tonight, 113-99. All right, Stephen, final look at our stats. And anything jump off the board. 4-point field goals for the Ball Stars. You see, 1 of 11. Kind of fell in love with that shot there.
Yeah, it's easy to fall in love with unless you're Sean Mosley, who's the only one that could shoot it with range and keep his form. But you know, that sticks out. The turnovers are pretty even, but it was just the defensive intensity by DC down the stretch I thought was the difference in the ball game.
So one last look there at the stats. As you see, Etherly had 26 to lead Maryland, and Freeman with 37 for DC. All right, part of the ball series is to expand in the future, as there's a big plan for the league, as you see up and down the East Coast, and it's that collegiate twist. Players that were representing their schools in that area stay in that area.
And I think this is going to have a great growth trajectory based on the players in this region and how the fans will come out and support it. So I look forward to seeing the growth of this league.
And we'll see North Carolina in here next Thursday night. Final thoughts on the opening night for DC, Steve?
I enjoyed the game, and I like the rules changes, and I think the players will start to adjust to those as we get further into the season.
I think a lot of people will adjust as we move forward, as it was a good night, great night for the opener between DC and Maryland. Our final score tonight from the Smith Center, DC Dobermans behind Austin Freeman's 37 points. Beat Maryland 113-99. Join us this Thursday, July 31st for our next broadcast with the DC Dobermans host the North Carolina Ball Stars. Coverage starts at 7 p.m. on the Comcast Network, ESPN3, and WRAL in Raleigh. For Stephen Bartlett and our entire crew, Frank Hanrahan saying good night from DC. The Dobermans get the win, 113-99. We'll see you soon.